We are live. Welcome to another episode of Shining the Light on. Therese, how are you?
It's an interesting energy. We were just talking about it before we started, but it feels intense, and I can't wait to do the karma cards later today and find out what the heck is going on.
And it's so weird because the last two episodes we've done, like when I go to hit live, I put like Shining the Light on, the episode number, what we're talking about, and I tag you, and then it comes up on YouTube and it says private and like weird. So I don't know why they're doing that. Oh, now it's there. Okay, maybe it just takes a minute to load. Okay, we're good. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. YouTube. But today we're going to talk about prime energy drinks. And what really brought this up is we have our spidey senses with like who's playing on the team of the light and who's not. And it's really easy nowadays to tell who's essentially sold their souls and who are puppets working for the dark side, who will get heavily propped up, become massive influencers. Their social media accounts blow up. They get millions of followers on YouTube. They get propped up to be claimed to have the best podcast in the world or be the best at what they do. And of course, then a lot of people become obsessed with them, and then they hold a lot of influence. And in this case today, there is I know they're brothers. Is it Logan Paul? I don't even know their names.
Yeah, Logan I only know Logan Paul's name, but I guess he has a brother. That's
Jake Paul. Yeah, they're both same crap, different pile, same pile, whatever you want to call it. But essentially, he is, and some other guy are the face of an energy drink and another drink called Prime. And of course, the way that this works in the marketing is you prop up these puppets, they get millions of followers, and then you make it seem like they've created some product, even though they haven't. And it's just some, mold of the same mold of all this other stuff, but they endorse it. And of course, then sell tons of it. And it just helps to poison the masses, essentially, like to put it bluntly, right? That's the whole point. It's just,
right. Well, I mean,
product poison the masses.
Yeah, the drinks that they're selling, and especially, they're using the guise of health to sell it. So they have a prime hydration, which is supposed to be superior to Gatorade. And then there's prime energy, which is the one that's really, really quite dangerous. And we're going to get into that later. But I mean, so let's talk about their claims on how these are superior and healthier for you. First of all, I mean, do we need specialty hydration drinks and specialty energy drinks at all?
No, we don't. I really don't think we do. I'm going to share my screen just so we can look at the hydration drink first. But, it's like, honestly, drink water, put sea salt in your water, put Celtic salt in your water, drink electrolytes, drink coconut water. Like, this is so hyped. And of course, as we know, a big red flag is the flashier the bottles, the flashier the campaigns, right? The more they're trying to just condition you. But this is their hydrator. And so filtered water, coconut water, but it's from concentrate, which, what is it, Therese?
It's syrup.
Yeah.
I mean, so instead of actually being coconut water, they're condensing it down to just a syrup. So now it's not coconut water.
And natural flavor can be like thousands of different kinds of chemicals, and it can actually really increase our appetite levels and make us really hungry, depending on what they're putting in there. So that's in there. We have sucralose, of course, which artificial sweeteners, right? So this is literally storing in the body as formaldehyde. We can't break it down. It's increasing appetite levels, suppressing metabolism, messing with thyroid.
Right. And their claim that it's healthier than Gatorade is that it's lower in sugar. But as Amber just said, they're supplementing that with sucralose. So cancer, basically. And that it has less sodium. And I was just explaining to Amber, like, the point of a hydration drink in terms of Gatorade, not the other types of hydration that's available, but in terms of Gatorade, what they did, and they literally made this market, Gatorade. And they were selling this to athletes. So people who are going through the water in their body like crazy, like pushing themselves to a physical extreme. Mm-hmm. And the point of Gatorade was to replace the salt they were losing, because as you sweat, you're sweating out your sodium, right? Yeah. And so Gatorade is high in sodium, and that is the hydration replacement that Gatorade is selling. Yeah. So this drink here, which is claiming to be superior to Gatorade, doesn't even do what Gatorade can do for an athlete. So you've got sports professional saying that this drink does nothing. It is not even hydrating at the level that an athlete could benefit from it.
Yeah, no. And here's the thing. All these sports drinks, like we know, are just full of garbage anyway. And it's just to market a product to the masses to help contribute to all the stuff we've been talking about. So it's not superior. So that's the first one. Now, of course, they came with another one, and that's their energy drink. And this is...
Sorry. I want to see at the bottom there of the can, if you can zoom in, there's supposed to be a warning on the label.
Oh, here it is. Ta-da. Can we see that well?
Yes.
Drink responsibly. Not recommended for children under 18 years of age, people sensitive to caffeine, pregnant women, or women who are nursing. At least they didn't put pregnant people. Because,
right.
Yeah. But no, that, Hubby and I were talking about that the other day. There should be disclaimers on these energy drinks, and you should not be able to consume them if you're under 18, because it is a health hazard.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but there's a litigation in your country, in Canada, about these drinks being there because they surpass the legal amount of caffeine that Canada allows.
And I'm shocked because Canada usually allows everything. So,
well, not with this. Apparently, Canada has a limit of 180 milligrams of caffeine, which is pretty high already.
Yeah.
Can you zoom in on how much caffeine is on this can? I think if we go up, we'll see it.
Here it is right here. It contains 200 milligrams of caffeine per 12 ounces. And is this a 12-ounce can? It's a 12-ounce can. And you see it right here, 200 milligrams.
They say that that's the equivalent of an entire 6-pack of Coca-Cola. So you'd have to drink 6 Coca-Colas in a row to get the caffeine that one of these cans is providing.
Yeah.
And the controversy that's around this is that this brand, and this is where we want to circle back to what's going on here, because kids are obsessed with it. And they're even though they're saying their target market is over 18, the people consuming this are around the age of 11 is their prime market. And they swear they're not marketing to this, but it's at the point now where the FDA has issued a warning on this drink.
Yeah.
And saying, parents, be careful, because this is giving children like heart palpitations and other things like that.
And it's funny that you bring up the marketing thing, because when we went on our little trip last month, we went to sit at a lake one day at the beach, and this family came, and it was a boy probably around 10 or 11 and a girl and their mom. And he pulled out a Prime hydrator drink and an energy drink. So there's that target market sitting on that beach with both of those.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, and so again, they're trying to hype that this is like, look, there's total sugars, 0 grams. They're saying this is a sugar-free drink. It's only 10 calories.
Of course, right? Because they want to emphasize low calorie, and low calorie is the most archaic thing we should be focusing on. And usually if it's low calorie, red flag. But again, the coconut water from concentrate. So the syrup, the natural flavors are in here. We've got obviously the caffeine. We've got sucralose, which sucralose and caffeine are a very horrible combination. And glucuronolactone, I don't even know what that is, but same kind of junky ingredients, but all the caffeine in this. Well,
and one of the things that they're saying is happening. So the hype initially started with this product line because they launched the hydration drink first. So the first Prime product to come out was Prime Hydration. And this is the one where you had people flocking to the store to buy it. And apparently it's not cheap to buy. I think I heard that a 6-pack of this hydration drink goes for $40. Like, I'm sorry, but I can't justify spending $40 on a bunch of like liquid food coloring.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me, but this is how insane it is that some people would even drive out hundreds of miles to find it, stand in line in the morning at the store to get this. And it's for their kids, right? So their kids are the primary ones drinking it. And then what happened is then they introduced the energy drink. And I guess people didn't know that they were 2 different formulas. And so people were letting their kids buy this hyper caffeinated drink. It's about the same. Again, the caffeine content would be like giving your kid 2.5 Red Bulls all at once.
You know, it's just coming up as you're saying all of this. Think of the name Prime. They brought out the non-caffeinated one first. It's almost like there's a play on words that they're priming their audience, right, for this caffeinated drink. Food for thought, right? Use discernment.
That is different. That is definitely an interesting point to make. And again, the hype around this is really weird. And that's one of the questions we have, because it's very unclear. I honestly hadn't heard of Logan Paul or KSI before looking into it. And so what I understand is both of them were boxers, but not to like a superstar degree. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I think from what I was reading, they were YouTubers at first that blew up. I really think they, sold their souls and signed those contracts. But yeah, I think, they're 20. Oh, wait. Yeah. American social media personality, actor, boxer, professional wrestler, signed with the WWE. Over 23 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. Right. So I think the YouTube really, he started that.
That the people who produced Prime, it's not these people. They're the front men. There are different producers.
Just the puppets.
The producer of the product, the creator of the product is someone in the shadows, which is always really interesting. When you put these front men on it, make it seem like they're the ones who did it. And that was done intentionally because of their large social media followings, because the marketing around this was, whoever the marketing team is, you got to give them credit that they know how to market, even if it's not, of the light or for the good. Yeah. These people understand that, one, you go where the following is the biggest. Two, you get the hype men to put in front of it.
Totally.
And specifically, sounds like, now I don't know the channels because I've never even heard of them. And only until this year had I ever heard of who Mr. Beast was. But it sounds like they're kind of on par with that, which is like, if 11-year-old boys are the demographic that's buying, then we know it's something about like prank things or destroying things as it's, I'm like, I don't know what it is, but then they release a product that they put that legal label on the back so they cover their own butt. Yeah. Knowing that no one's going to read that. It should, if they were being upfront about it, you'd put a big sign on the front, like make it really clear.
100%. Yeah. And, that's what I'm noticing. And maybe we should do a whole shining the light on like things, discernment to use or what to look for to see the process of someone essentially like selling their soul, like going to the wrong side, because there's things that you can look at and look for. Right. And if I see somebody, I will go and I will see how many followers they have. I will see how fast they grew. I will go to like DuckDuckGo and be like, type in their name and then like, sell their soul or whatever. And like, if I see all the I symbol, I'm like, oh, there it is. Like so easy. Right. But maybe we should talk about that one day and how to kind of scope out people, because the more awareness we can build, then we can go, oh, well, here, no surprise. This person's hyping this product who's literally like been put in this role to do so.
Yeah. Right? Well, So in my life, I've been a natural contrarian. It's not something I consciously do. So whenever people go towards something, my first instinct is to back away from it. Yeah. Even things I ended up really liking, like the Harry Potter series. I remember when that came out, I was like, no, not in. Same. And it took me years to like go to it and read it. Now I enjoy it. But so I would say like one of the first things you could do is if you see people losing their minds over something, to stay in your critical thinking mind, just ask why. Why are we freaking out over a Gatorade, basically, right?
Yeah. And something I want to add to this is, are they emitting some kind of frequencies from their social media or their YouTube that is driving people to go crazy over these products? Is there some kind of, you know what I mean? Because it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, well, they use like bright colors in their marketing, like primary colors, and we're just naturally attracted to those things where we naturally are designed to pick up on that. But there is some kind of subliminal marketing, and I've from the small amount of marketing I've seen on this product, the guys are just like yelling like prime, like they're in your face screaming prime. I'm like, so I don't know. I think that there might be some kind of like, it gets your heartbeat going. They're probably music, they're flashing lights, they're like in your face screaming. It gets you jacked up. Now the question is, and this is something I can't talk to from my own experience, but what does that do to men, right? Like, is it like boosting testosterone, or the combination of these things, like just something that naturally triggers testosterone release or something? I'm guessing it does. Yeah. Because again, if we look at the primary people, it's like preteen or prepubescent boys who are already getting doses of testosterone going through their system, and this is just like triggering that.
And then the other part of that is when you're in that stage of life, you're very vulnerable and you idolize these guys. They're popular, they're rich, they're famous, you want to be like them. You don't know how to like have the self-worth unless your parents have brought you up in that way to be discerning. And so what do? You want to be like these guys. You want to be the bro, you want to be seen. And so you're like, of course I'm going to buy their product because it's the way that I can identify with them and fit in or be masculine or cool or whatever. Right. That's just such a vulnerable age to get, whether it's boys or girls, to buy a product.
And I mean, I would definitely say that wrapped up in all of this is how many children are being exposed to social media, and that's really what's doing it. Right? Because we can create an entire fictional reality for you with an Instagram account. We can create a lifestyle using YouTube, and we don't know. I mean, I think the older you get, the more discerning you are. But if you're a young person, you're looking at this and you're like, that's really their life. And it reminds me of how, I felt about celebrities as a kid. Right. Like I wanted to be famous too, because it's like, that was the life. They're on every cover. They get to do cool jobs and things like that. And so it's very much like aimed at that mentality. Where you're not questioning. And then again, it brings in the importance of parents who do question, because the kids won't.
No, you're very vulnerable. It's easy to be deceived when you're in that age point.
Right.
It's deep. The marketing is very deep. So do you have anything else you want to share? I'm like wanting to jump into these questions and see what we get.
Yeah, let's take a look at the questions. I mean, because it's this is about as much information as out there. Is that what I can say is, just to cap it up, is that the FDA is now looking into it and telling parents to be aware of this, because, well, here's the other thing. We can put it in the questions if it's resonant for you. But the other thing I wonder is the timing of this drink with certain side effects from the jabby pokey, because it has to do with the heart. And that's the concerns that the FDA is having, is like, what is this doing to kids' hearts? And then you've got another, product out there that also has effects on children's hearts, but we're not allowed to talk about that. That's, no one is allowed to really acknowledge it. But now we're going to go after this, or are we using that as a cover?
I put it on our list of questions because I think we should ask it too. The timing is very coincidental.
It's just interesting. It's interesting because it's an easy way to sort of move people's attention away from it. It's like, oh, that's not the thing that's doing it. It's this energy drink.
Yeah, of course. Should we ask that first, or do you want to go with a different question first?
It's up to you. I'll let you into it. You have the list in front of you.
Okay, let's go to the first. Let's do another one first then. Why is this age range, this 10, 11, 12, why are these kids so obsessed with this?
Okay. All right, team. So why are the kids obsessed with this Prime hydration and Prime energy drink brand? there's a physical component to this for sure. So I've got the 5 of discs in the reverse position. There's a weird, it's again, I think that it triggers the testosterone. I think that's what I'm getting, is it that it gives you a testosterone boost. And testosterone, you know, from what I've heard from people who have taken it supplementally as a medication, is it gives you a euphoria when your testosterone is high, right? So it makes you feel invincible. It may literally, so this card's called worry. And look at it. You've got like all these heavy metal balls falling on you, trying to hold them up. And this is how it makes you feel. Like I'm flying, like I'm free, like I'm full of energy. And that, so part of it is like how it's being sold, and it's triggered that, but also you get that same feeling from ingesting the energy drink version of this product. So you do get a, I can, you know, I can Kool-Aid man right through a wall if I want to. I'm so strong. And then of course, ultimately you get the crash. So even though it's not the sugar high, it does provide you with another kind of high.
Totally makes sense. That big dopamine high, the testosterone high, feeling invincible.
The advertisement and the way that so again, I haven't watched the ads. I've seen images of it and they are very bright and colorful. And I've seen like the guys screaming in your face. I don't know if they're doing other ads that are more, you know, inspiring that, but it definitely like pumps you up when you're watching it.
Yeah, for sure. It's that hype. Okay. Well, that totally makes sense. Confirms what we were talking about before. What is behind this? Like, is there another agenda with this?
Okay. So is there another agenda? Whoa, okay.
Didn't take much.
I mean, there's definitely ambition that's behind it. I've got the Prince of Wands coming up. So this can, I feel like it talks to two things. So when we're looking at characters in the tarot, it can mean either like with messenger type beings. This is a page technically. Okay. So pages can be, it's bringing a message of something, but it also can be like the person. And what I get is like, you know, there's a strong sense of ambition. It's really like trying to capitalize. Like, I feel like it's the harbinger of before the fall is what I'm getting. It's like a weird messenger. It's like, you know how people hit a peak? Like we see some stories sometimes where people are scam, especially like if you watch scammer stories, where these people build a following, something like that. This is the peak before the fall.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So I don't know. I think the fall is, we're already in the fall now because now it's being questioned. It's being called out. It's a light is being shown on it. So actually what it needed to do, it did, which was sort of bring things apart. But what happens with these people who take these contracts, whether they're literally signing a contract or whether it's a, you know, I agree to do whatever I can to make it happen. What happens is they do hit these meteoric, right? It's like, and they feel invincible. They literally feel like nothing can touch them. Yeah. And it's like, as soon as you feel that way, you should know that you're about to hit the ground hard. Yeah. Because that's not a true, nothing we do in this world, whether you have very little means or a ton of means, ever happens in a vacuum. Yeah. So you never get away from what you put out in the world. It's always coming back to you. And it's almost like the faster you can pull it off, or the more of a meteoric rise you get, it's like that karma that's coming from that buildup comes even faster, and it comes fast and hard. Yeah. So that's when we asked what was behind it, they wanted you to know like that's what's behind it right now. But I think we meant to ask the team, like, is there a nefarious agenda towards the community, not necessarily towards that person, because that person's already getting what's coming is already coming. Yeah. So let's ask that. Is there a nefarious agenda towards just everybody else, the collective, around this energy drink phenomenon? No, I don't get that there's hidden stuff for sure. So this card comes up. This is the High Priestess, and what she talks about is there's hidden stuff, like even there is a hidden thing behind it, but we're not necessarily going to be able to tell you right now what it is, because this card even says it's like there's stuff you can't know.
Right.
But they're working on your subconscious mind. She represents the subconscious mind. So that's what they're really triggering. That's what they're really after. The product itself is literally sugar water. It's fake. Oh, they're showing me, remember in like old time, like sometimes you'll see like TV shows or cartoons where they're showing someone come into town selling snake oil and it's going to heal you and it's going to do all these things. And really all it was bottled river water or some shit. You know what I mean? So it's not the thing that they're selling you. It's the psychological operation they're doing on you. And what they're doing is they're literally using the placebo effect on you, right? So the placebo effect is, you can create a healing in someone. If they believe they're being healed, they will actually heal.
Yeah.
But it's not the stuff that did it, it's them. And that's kind of the whole guise that gets put on us all the time. We are under this placebo effect type thing all the time, but we're never really clear what the operational force is. We're always assigning that information to something outside of us. This thing did it, or this person did it.
Makes sense.
So that's it's part of that. So it's nothing like specific to this one product. It's literally that effect. And we could really call that marketing, because marketing, the way marketing works is they know how to manipulate your subconscious mind. They're taught that.
Yeah.
I've read a couple books by people who are from large marketing firms, and they talk directly about it. Like, for example, most people call facial tissue Kleenex, right? And it's the brand name associated with the product so much so that you call it a Kleenex even when you're asking for something else. Or like, I don't know if you've heard, but like people in the South apparently call everything a Coke, even if they're asking for like a Sprite. They want a Coke. It's like they're so associated.
Yeah.
The name with the product that it's almost inseparable in their mind. And so they do these kinds of things to really plant or create, they're trying to lock that brand in for life. Like it's a product you're always going to need.
Right. Totally makes sense. Okay. Last question. Is this a cover up for the pokey poke and the heart health of kids?
Okay. So I want to get really clear on the question so I can get the best answer from the team. So we want to ask if the FDA bringing attention to this, this energy drink and talking about the danger of it with kids, if that's a way to sort of mask what's going on with the jab. Okay. Ooh. Okay. They're telling me too. So hold on one second.
Yeah.
This takes a minute, everyone. I wish they would shuffle faster, but
that's okay.
You got to get the card you're supposed to get here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Two. Okay. Really interesting. So first we've got the love card coming up, followed by the Empress in the reverse position, which also represents love, but in this case, it represents a lack of love. So I feel like it is definitely meant to tug at your heartstrings, right? Anything with kids is meant to tug at the heartstrings. It's meant to get your attention. But again, they're showing like, there's a lot of stuff going on with kids right now that like, especially like movies like Sound of Freedom, right? That's about kids and what's happening, but there's all this misdirection. And so that's what this is representing, is like this creating without love, right? So again, it's like every time we get close to the truth coming out, or the truth being seen in a bigger way, then a diversion is created to block that and create this sort of misdirect energy. But what we should know is that's not going to work. In the end, that doesn't work. So we're in the middle of these three cards right here. We're in the middle of them. And in the middle is this creating without love, and literally like a coldness that comes through. But in the end, again, we win. There's still blessings. There's still victory coming through. This doesn't work out in the long term. So even if they were to distract people with that, I feel like people have been through enough now, right? I think people are fatigued, like we talked about privately. People are fatigued. They're tired of the BS. They don't want, they want to hear the truth. And I don't believe that they're going to feel settled in themselves being told a BS story. Now,
no,
parents should avoid giving this to their kids for sure. But blaming it or saying that this thing is some kind of epidemic of kids drinking this and having heart problems, that could be the cover up right there.
Makes sense. It makes sense. Great answers to great questions.
Yeah. And the good news I would say is that we're in the middle of something really big. We're in the middle of this huge shift. And I'm not talking just on the spiritual energy shift. I mean, a shift in how this world operates.
Yeah.
And we're still in the collapse part. And that is, I think, for a lot of us who are like, okay, I know it's collapsing and I know this is good for us and good things are coming. We're hitting that point where we've had enough. It's taken a lot. And I think that we should talk just a little bit about what we should do when we feel that energy. Because I feel like, again, I was saying to Amber, I'm going to be digging deeper into this in the karma cards today. But
maybe we can do that in another episode, just because I'm past my hard stop.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll
next
save
week.
It, but there's good stuff coming. Yes. We'll talk more about it then.
Yes. Cliffhanger. You're going to have to wait. Well, this was awesome. Where can everyone find you if they want to learn more, get support, reach out?
Yes. So if you want to do readings, one-to-one mentoring with me, or just get more information about what's going on, go to the link in the bio below, and it's blythestarlight.com. And Amber, how about you?
You want help overcoming your sucralose energy drink addiction or healing your relationship with food and body and a lot more, you can access podcasts, you can book a consultation. There's all the details below for you to learn more as well. And thank you everyone for joining us again today. If you have specific comments or questions, leave them below and we can explore a topic in a future episode. I'm sending you all a lot of love. It was a pleasure again, as always, Therese, and we'll see you all next week for the next episode.
Bye.